Don't be a truck driver. Don't do it. When I was a kid, I was told that a lot. You know, we went on a cross country trip in an RV. Every time we got, what was it? We'd go to a truck stop or something to get fuel. Every time I'd talk to a truck driver, and my mom would be like, "Yeah, he wants to be a truck driver when he gets older." My mom didn't want me to be a trucker, so she would go to them and say, talk them out of it, and they would, and it wasn't just because my mom was asking them to. People would do it. Truck drivers would sit there and say, "No, you don't want to be a truck driver. This is shitty industry, and it's a crappy job, blah blah blah, all this other shit." But it didn't stop me. I still wanted to be a truck driver. As you can see, if you watch my channel, I fulfilled my dream. So, what I'm getting at with this video is you see it a lot where people ask, because of self-driving trucks and more regulations and all that shit, is it worth it to be a truck driver? And I say, abso-fucking-lutely it is. Yes. In my opinion, it's one of the best industries to be in. You can come in with no college degrees or anything like that. You don't have to have anything like that. You just go to, most today, you have to go to a truck driving school. And I know next year they're supposed to be increasing the requirements, like increasing how long you have to be in a school or something, and increasing the training that you're required to receive in order to get your CDL, which I'm all for. That's fine. It is very easy to get a CDL. I'm fine with them lengthening out the process, have how many hours that they require, something like that. I'm all for it. If you're against it, let me know why in the comments, man. Everyone always talks about truck drivers nowadays. Oh, people need more training. But when the government says, "Hey, okay, we're going to require more training," everyone freaks out about it. Well, some people. Anyway, I always heard, don't be a truck driver. And here I am 10 years later, 10 years of driving trucks. 8 years of that, or 2 years of it was over the road. 8 years so far is hauling fuel. And if I had to go back and do it all over again, I would. I wouldn't change my decisions I've made. It's not an easy industry to have a family. It isn't. If you're over the road, it's not often that you're going to get home. There's some companies, some regional routes and stuff where you can get home on the weekends. Or if you get a local job like me, you're home every day. But there's a downside to it all. Over the road, you're going to be gone for a long time, for weeks at a time. Sometimes 2, 3, 4 weeks at a time, if not more. When I was over the road, I was friends with a guy. He hadn't been home in 9 months, but he lived with his parents, and he was sitting back and stacking up money. In that 9 months that he was out, he made enough money to damn near pay for a house, cash. And that's what he ended up doing. He moved from Texas I think it was Oklahoma to Texas, and he bought a house. It was like a little, out in the middle of nowhere. But I mean, hell, house is paid for. He don't need nothing fancy. You're hardly ever there. So, but anyway, over the road, you're going to be gone for weeks at a time. It's going to be hard on your family. Even if you're home every weekend, you're still that Monday through Friday, or some places where it's Sunday night to Friday night or something like that, you only get home for a 34-hour reset. You're still gone, and if you have a wife and kids, your wife is staying home taking care of the kids. If she doesn't even have, whether or not she has a job. If she's got a job, then it's even worse, And then local, a lot of people, I think, romanticize local trucking. You know, local isn't what it's all cracked up to be. It isn't. Um, there's one guy trucking with Cooper where Tim had he had a local job, but he was working more than when as he's over the road right now. And what he meant by that was his wife didn't see him because working local, you work longer hours. Yeah, you get to go home, but it's for your 10-hour break, and then you're going right back to the truck. For him, for his situation over the road, because he's a lease operator with GP Transco now. His situation, it's better for his home life to do what he's doing now. Whereas with local, I mean, hell, there's weeks where I'm running local, and yeah, I get to go home. But you go home, I might get home at 9 or 10 o'clock at night, and then I get just enough time to I might eat something and go to bed, and then I'm getting up at 5, 6 o'clock the next morning, just to do it all over again. So, but me personally, with me not having any kids, or I have a girlfriend now, but she doesn't live with me right now or anything. But I would work 6 days a week, so it's I take my 34 off, just have 1 day off, and then I'm right back in the truck all week. And it's it's damn near like being, not, I wouldn't say like being over the road, but it's similar to that, where you're always working. You just go home for your 10-hour break and you come back. A lot of people want that local job so they can be home every night, but it still puts a strain on your marriage, or if you have kids, you might be gone before they get up, and then you get home after they've already gone to bed, something like that. There's a lot of give and take in this industry, but it's not just driving. There's so many different aspects of trucking. You could work for a company where you're a driver, and then you decide, hey man, I want to be home every day, but I don't want to work. I'm tired of working 12, 14 hours a day. You might get an office job at the company you work for. Hell, one of our drivers, I have a lot of respect for him. He's been driving for a long time. I can't remember how many years, but he was a driver with us for a few years, and he's moved up to where he's in the he's working in the office. He's actually our transportation operations manager. And he's doing really well. And in my opinion, when you have people working in the office, it is the best situation when they were a truck driver first, because they have that experience, and then also going into the office. So when someone tells you, when you ask, hey, should I be a truck driver, and someone tells you, no, this shitty industry, blah blah blah, oh, it's overregulated, all that stuff. I believe we are overregulated. I do. I'm not gonna bitch about e-logs. It is what it is. I've been on e-logs ever since I got into the industry. It's not, because I've been on paper as well, and with one company I worked for, I was on paper. I could care less, which one I'm on. Yeah, with paper you have more leeway to do, if you run out of hours somewhere, at least you can get down the road and go to a truck stop, or make it back to the yard without it being a big deal, or without any record being kept of it. But I don't know. I don't really give a damn what I'm on, e-logs, paper logs. I'm in a pre-ELD truck, or my glider is ELD exempt, but we still run ELDs because the company I'm leased to requires it. I don't give a damn. I really don't. But no matter what industry you go in, there's going to be people that are upset about it. Doesn't matter what industry it is. It just so happens, in my opinion, trucking offers so many different aspects. You have driving, dispatching, you could be a freaking mechanic. You could be a driver and then be a mechanic or something like that. You could start your own company, no college experience whatsoever. You could go out, get your own authority, and freaking make money. There's plenty, thousands, if not, hundreds of thousands of people that do it every day. They have their own company, no college experience, no business experience, but they're running a business and they're successful at it. So it's all, in my opinion, it's all in your mindset. If you view this as just a job, you're probably going to hate it. To me, it is a lifestyle. As cliche as that is, when people say, oh, trucking's a lifestyle, I truly believe it is. Because I eat, breathe, and live trucking. When I go home at the end of the day, this shit is still on my mind 24/7. And I wouldn't have it any other way. I wouldn't. It's in my blood. I'm first generation truck driver in my family, but this shit's in my blood. And I wouldn't have it any other way. So, if you view it as just another job, maybe trucking isn't for you. But if it's something, you just enjoy driving, you enjoy the different aspects of this company, or not company, but this industry, or if you feel like you want to become a truck driver because you have bigger plans down the line. Maybe you want to be a company owner, but you don't want to drive for the rest of your life. There's nothing wrong with that. There's plenty of people out here where they started their own company and then now they're not driving anymore because it's not what they're passionate about, but they want to be in the business. It's available. You can do it. So don't ever let someone tell you, oh, don't be a truck driver, it's not worth it. All these regulations, all that bullshit. If it's what you have your heart set on, follow it. Become a company driver. You ain't got nothing to lose becoming a company driver. Getting your CDL, you will always have a job. You will always have a job. That's all I got to say about that.